Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Joel and today we'll be exploring Vancouver's top outdoor basketball courts. Today we'll be starting here at the Concord Community Park, right in between Science World and BC Place along the seawall. It is a beautiful park. Let's get going. So this park is pretty awesome, except they just have the one half court and they limit you to half-hour sessions if somebody's waiting. And it's usually pretty busy, but the hoop is phenomenal. This is a great rim for shooting, and you really just can't beat the look and the feel of being right here in the city on this court. Overall, the surface is really grippy, so we're gonna give the Concord Community Park a 5 for the court because it's so small, 8 for the hoop, traffic for a 4 because it's always quite busy and limited space, aesthetic gets a 9, and for location a 8 because it's really close to the SkyTrain and has pretty cheap parking, for an overall score of 34. Next up on the list here is the Granville Island basketball courts. There's a lot of birds and wildlife here. I just saw a raccoon go by. Let's get to it. This area is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't been to Granville Island yet, you definitely should. There's a lot to see and experience here, and this court is definitely something that should be on your list. It's got a full court, sometimes used for tennis. One of the hoops is really nice with a glass backboard, and the other hoop is a bit old, but it still does the trick. With the city backdrop, it creates a very picturesque spot for shooting. Both hoops are very well maintained since it's a popular tourism area, and you're likely to see some pretty cool wildlife while you're in the area. The Granville Island court gets a 7. It's got a great surface and a full court, so that's really nice. Hoop gets an 8, really good glass backboard, but the other backboard is kind of wooden and rotten, but both rims are really solid. Traffic gets a 6. It's kind of far away, having to come all the way into Granville Island, and parking can be expensive, but the aesthetic up at an 8 is phenomenal. Location also gets a 6 due to it being pretty far away from local transit. Overall, this one gets a rating of 35. Next up here is the one and only legendary Kitsilano Beach basketball courts. They have a ton of hoops. It's very beautiful, top-notch basketball here. This is definitely the spot to come if you're looking to find a pickup game or 5-on-5. They have 2 full-size courts, very well maintained. All of the backboards are in pristine condition with nice nets. It can get a little sandy here from the beach, but a little sweep always clears that up. This place is legendary for a reason. It's been a hot spot for outdoor basketball since I was a young kid. They often have tournaments here which are really fun to come and watch, and these are just great hoops for shooting on. So the Kitsilano Beach courts, they get a 9 because there's 4 hoops, 2 full courts, lots of space. The hoops themselves get a 10. These are the best for shooting on. Really nice glass backboards, picturesque scene. Traffic gets a 7. It's usually quite busy, but everyone here is really nice. And there is 4 hoops, so it's not too bad. Aesthetic gets a 9. This place is gorgeous. Location gets an 8 because it's pretty close to everything, although parking can be expensive here as well. That gives us an overall rating of 43 for Kitsilano Beach. It's been a long day, gotta pick up some Lee's. We got some Lee's donuts. Gotta have a little sugar break here and there, keep our energy high. We're out here filming, eating gum. Thank you to Maggie for helping me out with this video. Next up here is Trimble Park. This place is gorgeous. The rims and hoops leave a little bit to be desired, and the court has no lines, which is really unfortunate because this location is phenomenal. It's got 3 hoops, 1 full court, 1 half court, although there's definitely enough space to make a second full court, so I'm not sure why they left out that fourth hoop. So for the Trimble Park courts, we're gonna give them a 3. There's no lines, and it's not very well laid out. It's just cement. The hoops get a 5 because the backboards are quite small and the rims are subpar. One of them was nice, but one of them was quite terrible. Traffic gets an 8 because it seems like there's no one here ever, so that's definitely a perk. Aesthetic, this one's gotta get a 10. Up on the hill with the view of the city and the mountains, it's spectacular. Location, we're gonna give it a 7. Due to transit being tougher to get here, although there is free parking, we're gonna give this one an overall score of 33. All right, so I brought out a local legend for my home court here at Mount Pleasant.
What's up, what's up?
We got Corum. He's gonna make a sick cinematic edit.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a parallax photo video hybrid thing. You'll see it, you'll see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll it right now. I'll just shoot it right in the hoop.
Yeah.
The rims here are amazing. They're really nice for shooting on. Solid backboards, although a little bit small. The court itself is beautiful. It's well painted, well maintained, and the surface is really grippy. We're gonna give the Mount Pleasant Park court a 8 out of 10 because it's beautiful, it's well maintained, it's super grippy. The hoops are gonna get a 9. I find it really easy to shoot here, and the rims are rather forgiving for outdoor rims. As for traffic, it's gonna get an 8. It's not too busy here, although I have had to wait in line a few times. Aesthetic gets a 7. It's tucked away in the suburbs of Mount Pleasant in a rather beautiful park, so it definitely earns a 7. As for location, it's gonna get a 6 due to transit being kind of far away, although the parking is free and close by. Overall rating for this park, 38. Next up on the list is an absolute gem hidden underneath the Cambie Street Bridge. This is a great park when it's raining because it's covered, and they have great lights on for nighttime shooting, so let's get to it. If you've shot at night, you've definitely been here before. It's well lit through the evening, and no one lives close by, so you don't have to worry about waking up the neighbors. The hoops are really solid, and the court itself is okay, although it's rather small. It's called Cooper's Park, and we're gonna give the court a 6 out of 10. This is mainly due to the small size and just how dirty it gets from normal wear and tear in the city. The hoops get an 8. They're really nice shooting rims, and they're well maintained with good nets always. Traffic gets a 5 because this place is always busy. Whether it's seawall traffic or your regular shooters, it's always quite busy, and there's only 2 hoops. As for aesthetic, underneath the bridge, right on the seawall, it definitely deserves an 8 out of 10. As for location, we're gonna go with a 6 because it's in a really cool spot, but the parking is very difficult and quite expensive. So the overall score for Cooper's Park is a 33. Next up is a really great park here in Yaletown. This is another set of legendary courts. Made up of 2 full courts and 4 rims, right on the seawall in downtown, the Yaletown courts are beautiful. The rims aren't the easiest to shoot on, but the backdrop is pretty hard to beat. If you live in the downtown area, you have definitely seen these before. They're something of a local legend. Overall, the David Lamb Park in Yaletown is going to get a 9 out of 10 for the courts. They are cement, but they're grippy, kept clean. Hoops get an 8, solid outdoor courts with well-maintained nets, and traffic, it gets a 6. It can be quite busy here, so if you're looking to shoot, you might have to wait, although there is pickup games here, which is quite fun. Aesthetic gets a 9. It's fully surrounded by Yaletown skyscrapers, which creates a really cool vibe. Location, this one's also a 9. It's close to the SkyTrain, parking is surprisingly close by and not too expensive. Overall rating, this one gets a 41. Next up here is Queen Elizabeth Park. This park is huge with 4 courts, 1 court being junior sized, which is really fun for dunking on. The hoops themselves leave a lot to be desired. They're okay for shooting on, but it's a very reliable park to play at. So the Queen Elizabeth Park courts are going to get an 8 due to being the largest park in Vancouver. The hoops are a rather big letdown, so they're going to get a 5. Only a couple of them might have nets depending on when you show up, and the rims are unforgiving when you shoot on them. Traffic gets an 8. This is a high profile area, but there is also a lot of courts. You just might not get one of the nicer rims. Aesthetic gets a 6. There's not really a view from here, although the Queen Elizabeth Park is gorgeous. Location gets a 7. Parking is close by. There is some free 2-hour parking just below. Overall rating, 34. Next up is KingCrest Park. I called in the big guns for this one.
It's day 2, we're at KingCrest Court. Beautiful day. We're gonna see who's better, Mike or Joel, a little one-on-one.
This is a new court on the corner of King Ed and Knight Street. The court itself is fantastic. Both hoops are really solid, and it seems to be empty. We didn't see a single person using the court when we came, and I think a lot of people don't know about this spot yet. If you already know Downey Live, you know he's quite the athlete. So we had to put that to the test today and see who would come out on top in a game of one-on-one. KingCrest Park Court gets a 7. It's a solid court, although the court itself wasn't flat, which was a bit difficult. So if you're shooting a 3-point shot on the left, it would be lower and higher on the right. The hoops get a 7. They're solid, good outdoor hoops, but not the most forgiving rims. Traffic, this one gets a 9. This place is empty and we didn't see a single person here. Aesthetic gets a 7. It is a gorgeous park with some cool views of the location. Gets an 8. Plenty of parking, pretty good transit to get here. Overall rating, this one gets a 38.
Leaked a lot of oil.
Now we're at Cedar Cottage Park, which has a great colored surface, brand new surface, but it's split in 2. So you can't play full court 5-on-5, but you got a nice easy division between 2 groups of people playing.
Woo. Yeah.
There's only 2 half courts, so this is definitely not a place to play full pickup basketball, but might be my favorite for just shooting around so far. The Cottage Creek Park is simply beautiful. The rims are brand new, backboards look great. We quickly realized that the second hoop is actually a short hoop, which made for some really fun dunks. Let us know in the comments who you think took home the win, Mike or Joel. So overall, we're gonna give this court a 6 due to it being pretty small and only a half court, although the actual surface itself was beautiful. Hoops get a 7, not the most forgiving rims and small backboards, and there's only 1 full-size hoop, so if anybody else is here, you're gonna have to wait. Speaking of traffic, it gets an 8 because I don't think a lot of people know about this park, so it's pretty empty from my experiences so far. Aesthetic also gets an 8. It's really got a cool vibe in here, silhouetted by some homes and kind of like a suburban vibe. And as for location, we're gonna give it a 5. The area isn't exactly the nicest and transit wasn't super close, although there was parking right beside. Overall rating, this one gets a 34.
This is probably the most colorful court in the city, and it's named after NBA MVP. It's a Steve Nash family court.
This has got to be my personal favorite court. The backboards are huge, the rims are amazing, you might as well be indoors, and the court itself is gorgeous. The surface is really grippy, it's well maintained, and the scenery is picturesque. I'm not sure if people just don't know about it yet, but I haven't seen anybody here, And another perk is there's 2 other courts close by with quite a few other hoops, and you get to share the area with the skate park and the P&E, which kind of feels like a cool vibe. Mike and I really put this court to the test today. It's definitely the court we had the most fun at, and actually the court we scored the most hoops on. So the Steve Nash family court gets a 9 out of 10. The surface is gorgeous. It's grippy, it's always clean. The hoops, they get a 10. Those rims are amazing for shooting on, huge backboards. It feels like you're indoors. Traffic gets an 8. It does get busy occasionally in the summer, but for the most part is an unknown hidden gem. Aesthetics gets an 8 as well. The view's okay, but the court is really the special part here. Location, this one is a bit further away from any SkyTrain, so transit isn't as great to get here, but parking is currently free in the P&E, which is nice, so that's a huge bonus. Overall rating, this one gets a 42.
This has been Basketball Courts in Vancouver with Joel Schat, and a little bit with me. Goodbye, subscribe, click all the bells, have a good day.
If you made it all the way through this video, thank you so much for watching. It was a lot of fun to make, and I really enjoyed checking out all of these great courts that Vancouver has to offer. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so here, and check out Downey Live and Quorum's channel as well. You definitely will not regret it. They both make some amazing content, and I'll see you guys next time.